What is going on, everybody? How is it going? Destin Laguerre here. I know it's been a while since I've done a Sunday stream, and I'm super late to doing the stream today. Why is that happening? Well, I've been busy being a dad, spending time with the family, spending time with the kids, doing, how old am I? 43-year-old things. So if you're wondering why I haven't been streaming on the weekends, just a lot of family stuff's been coming up, and I've been electing to go. For example, today we went to a strawberry patch and we met the Easter Bunny, and we went for an Easter egg hunt. It was a very nice morning, and the kids were almost good in the car ride, like 50% good. Uh, but it was really really nice. So a lot of people have been asking like, "Hey, are you still going to be streaming on the weekends and stuff like that?" Every once in a while, stuff comes up. I'm going to try and I am wondering if maybe an evening stream would work. I tried an evening Assassin's Creed stream, and it did what it was going to do. For numbers, it was quite low, but people seem to really enjoy the VOD. So anyway, I'm considering something in that realm because I know like Phil Roney, he's always like, "Hey, are you going to stream today?" And yeah, and SDC. Every time somebody complains about the looping intro. The reason I play it for 5 minutes because it gives me a clear it gives me a little bit of time to just make sure everything's set up, make sure there's nothing like crazy broken with the stream, make sure the stream's going smooth and all that stuff. And then I go live right after the 5 minute countdown. I went live a little bit early because I felt like it and I thought I would just hang out and chat a little bit. But today, honestly, like, news has just been slow. I don't feel like there's been a ton of gaming news. There's a few stories. We're going to talk about Ubisoft, which I've had a few tabs open for a while, and what's going on with AG Investments and that potential hostile takeover. We're going to talk about the PS5 Pro a little bit and some of the technology there. Maybe we'll read that one. I don't know if that's pertinent to this particular stream. But today, I really wanted to talk about this Steam story that is making the rounds. I will not be talking about my jacket, though, which I just put on because it was next to me. Office was a little chilly, and then I put on the jacket, then I get warm. So I think I'm going to keep the jacket on this time. How's everybody doing today? Indra, good to see you. Widya, good to see you. I watch Alex from time to time. Every once in a while I watch him, and he wears a banana suit. And I think it is very funny that he wears a banana suit. And I was thinking, I don't know, like doing some sort of goal like him. Like, I don't want to take my shirt off or anything crazy like that guy does. But maybe I turn into an anime avatar of a garbage bin because all the PlayStation fanboys call me Dustbin. So if anybody, I got to figure out how to do it. I know there's all of those animated avatars that people use all the time online. So I love just like leaning into stuff like that. And I was like, what if I become a dustbin every time somebody like tips 50 or because Alex does 50? I don't know. Just something that I had in the back of my head. I like leaning into jokes like that because I think they're funny. And yeah, Bob Evans, thank you for joining. I don't have a lot to do today in terms of news. I checked out my regular sources, Noble, and it's really light. Even his story roundups were like, yeah, so games came out. Am I the only one that feels that way? Am I the only one that feels like news has been kind of slow? Like just generally in 2025? There have been some big stories here and there, but I remember like 2023, the year where I did news every single day, I think there was usually news to talk about, usually because like some FTC document leaked or something like that. But right now, like this year, it's been slower. Calm before the GTA storm. Well, when the GTA storm hits, it's just going to be people playing GTA. News are slow because Bloodborne 2 will be announced tomorrow. Maybe it's literally been slow. Yeah, I think so. I think so also. Did you try it? The She Wander Shop Stop. Nisa, I don't know what that is, but I didn't try it. PlayStation games on Xbox. Yes. So, Mazer Tech. Yeah, Mazer Tech. I saw a few of your responses on Twitter actually to my crazy first idea. So back in August of 2024, I discussed that I thought potentially Xbox would make the next generation of consoles more like a PC, right? And I thought that I'll go an extra hour. Just do that goal thing. So back in 2024, I made a video talking about what I thought the next Xbox would be. That was actually a clip from a live stream where we were sort of talking about it. And I thought, you know, I think this would be a really compelling option for customers, for gamers. And that option was basically a Microsoft branded gaming device that would allow them to include all the storefronts, including Steam. And the reason I think that would be compelling is because it would allow Xbox to basically get PlayStation games on their Xbox device. Now, you can already do this with a Steam Deck, and I've been told you can already do it with an ROG Ally. Check and correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you, Woody, for the $5. However, the next handheld we learned a week or two ago is going to basically be a third-party device where Xbox allows them to use the official look of all the Xbox things that people love, but it will be developed by somebody like Asus. I believe Asus was the rumor that came out shortly after I made that video. So if Asus is making it, there is not a scenario where PlayStation would be blocking those games. They would have to block them for the Steam Deck. They would have to block them for most devices. This is a way that Xbox could circumvent the idea of an Xbox, an officially made Microsoft product, while also allowing PlayStation games to play on that device. So all of these thoughts have been swirling all over on Twitter. And a lot of people have been discussing what it could mean. So we're going to talk about the story in question. Now, the story in question was what you probably saw in the thumbnail. It was largely an image of an Xbox device with a Steam tab. Now, we're going to talk about what that actually means in just a second in terms of this story. But to me, there's a bigger story at play here. The bigger story is that Xbox and Steam have been talking and they've come to some sort of agreement where they are collaborating. And that makes me wonder if there will be further collaborations in the future like the one that I've been discussing since August of 2024. So let's jump right in here. Here's the Steam on Xbox evidence Microsoft didn't want you to see. This is from Tom Warren. Tom's really up on his game. Microsoft posted and removed a new Xbox UI image with Steam games listed. Now, for a long time, people have talked about the idea of Xbox partnering with Epic Games Store, for example, or Steam, for example. Phil Spencer even told Tom Warren in The Verge in an interview that he is open to something like the Epic Games Store. By the way, the Epic Games Store also has PlayStation games on it. A lot of people focus too much on Steam, but Epic Games Store already has things like Marvel's Spider-Man on the storefront. So we're already halfway there. Microsoft revealed earlier this year that it's combining the best of Xbox and Windows together for handhelds. And now the company is starting to drop the first hints of what that UI might look like. In a blog post about Xbox opening a billion doors, conveniently right around GDC time, Microsoft briefly revealed a new Xbox UI that looks a lot more console-like across multiple devices, and even appears to list Steam games. Very interesting stuff. Sounds a lot like exactly the thing people have been talking about for a long time now. Microsoft and Steam collaborating in a way to tear down the barriers that Microsoft themselves have put up when a game like Diablo launches on Steam and it launches on Xbox. Wouldn't it be nice if you purchased that game, it just worked? If the devices would be able to figure it out and just sort of work organically. I think that's what Jason Ronald over at Xbox has been working on. He works in the software team, and he is on the compatibility team. After briefly posting an image of a new Xbox UI across multiple devices, Microsoft quickly removed it once The Verge inquired about it. The image has a new Xbox UI that can be seen on a TV where you can clearly see the Steam label listed. The same UI with the Steam mention is also shown on the tablet and handheld versions. Look at that. So you can see right there on the image, and I made it clear as day on the thumbnail today. It was there. This is an official piece of artwork from Microsoft. The fact that they pulled it down says more to me than anything else. This isn't an announcement they were ready to make. It is an image mock-up, and it does seem like they will be addressing this in the near future. It seems like it just came out a little bit too early. Well, the image appears to be a mock-up with owned games listed twice, as well as action-adventure titles. I don't think the Steam label here is necessarily a mistake. It's not. They have to have agreements in place before they start mocking up other storefronts. It would be like accidentally putting PlayStation on an Xbox UI loadout. They would probably get sued. So I don't think it's a mistake. I personally don't think this was a mistake. I don't think this was done accidentally. Sorry if my mic was a little peaky there. I don't think the Steam label here is necessarily a mistake. Sources familiar with Microsoft's plans tell me that the company is currently working on an Xbox app update that will show every game you have installed on your PC. That includes games from Steam and the Epic Game Store, and I understand Microsoft will label these games accordingly. Isn't that interesting? A lot of people have pointed out, oh, this is just for PC. This is just a PC thing. This is just for PC gamers. If the next Xbox home device is a PC, it will also be on that device. I don't understand how that is difficult to come to a conclusion on. There's a lot of talk like PlayStation would block it. They would never let an Xbox device play PlayStation games. Sure. They did it with NVIDIA before the whole NVIDIA deal went south. People are quoting the NVIDIA situation where God of War wasn't available to be played on a device. That happened in 2022. The whole NVIDIA GeForce Now PlayStation deal, that sort of fell apart around 2022. So you're referencing years old information about a deal that went south and wasn't agreed to. That's not what this is. That's not what's happening here. What's happening here is Xbox is making a handheld, and that handheld will be created by Asus. It will basically be a PC. So like all the other devices that act like a PC, Steam will be a part of that, and it will launch PlayStation games. So whatever Xbox's next device is, if it is like a PC or there's a third-party manufacturer involved for the console also, it's another situation where really you're buying a PC, but it will work like a console. And I think that's been the play for a long time. I think that's been their vision. On the same hand, PlayStation gamers will be pre-ordering Forza Horizon 5, one of the top pre-order games on PlayStation right now, while also talking about how they don't like any of the Xbox games. I think that's a poor take. I think you should play Xbox games. I think you should play PlayStation games. I think you should play Nintendo games and PC games. Imagine if you just played games and took what you will from them and hopefully enjoyed them. Forza Horizon 5 was like a game of the year for me. I think I voted for game of the year that year. It's wonderful. It's a really great game. And I do hope that people will stop with who won the console war. PlayStation won and Nintendo won. Xbox lost. They said it 2 years ago. So if you're out there touting about how much you won, yeah, you won. It's over. Everybody knows it's over. Except for the people still taking a victory lap 2 years after it ended. And in August of 2024, another thing I talked about was how we need to get over this idea of exclusives, because Microsoft has made it very clear. Whatever Destin said in the past about console exclusives or a game going exclusive and how it could be a good strategy, sure, that's what I thought, until Microsoft and Xbox made it very clear, yeah, we're not going to do that. We will be making games for PlayStation in the future. And any Xbox fan who is like holding on to hope that games aren't going to go to other platforms, I've said it many times. I've said it basically every stream on Sunday. That is not the future. More games are going to go to PlayStation. Get used to it. And I think the future of what Xbox is going forward is also going to look a lot different. On the same hand, as I said before, PlayStation gamers also talk about how Xbox is going third party. They sure are. Their handheld is being developed by a third party, which is why PlayStation games will be playable on the Xbox handheld device that is rumored to be releasing this year. If they do the same thing with a console-like device, it would be a similar story. And that's why I think this update could be a huge change for how we think about Xbox and Microsoft's devices, and also a positive one for the industry. Let's finish Tom's story here. I'm told Microsoft is still in the early stages of this Xbox app update, so the company might never ship the feature to list all your Steam games, but this mocked up image shows how they might show up eventually. Xbox chief Phil Spencer has also previously hinted that PC stores like Epic Game Store and itch.io, in Tom's old interview, which he's probably linking to there, could one day arrive on Xbox consoles. Microsoft has also been working on making the Xbox app the home of PC gaming. And listing Steam games in this app would certainly help. GOG has a similar system in place, so you can see games you own on PC across multiple launchers. I asked Microsoft to comment on the appearance of this Xbox app UI, but the company didn't respond in time for publication. Steam also does that. Did you know that? Steam allows you to add games that are installed on your computer and play them or launch them from the Steam store. So this isn't a new idea. This is about organization and making it easier to launch all of your games from one system. How could PlayStation get around this? Well, they could pull their games off Steam and Epic Game Store, but they're not going to do that. That's not going to happen. And a lot of people have been saying, this is never going to happen. You're wrong. Okay, let's wait. Let's see what's going to happen in 2 years. Because I think this is the play. And honestly, I think it's the only play they got. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I will be wrong, but I feel very confident that my prediction in August of 2024 becomes closer and closer to reality with every single story we get out of Microsoft. Every single story. I think the idea of Xbox is going to be a lot different in the future. And honestly, I think it could wind up being a good thing. If the next generation of Xbox hardware is third party, but it allows you all of your Xbox games, it allows you access to Xbox Game Pass, and it allows you access to the PlayStation games that have come to PC, I'm here for it. I said it in that video. Heck yeah, I'd be hyped for that. That's my take. Let me know what you think. Let's read some of the super chats here. We got a few here really quick. Hey, Destin, I interacted with you on Alex's stream a few months ago, but enjoying you and Ryan McCaffrey unlocked, and you from Screw Attack Fireteam Chat, and now this channel. Give me hard news. Hard news. It's been a long time. Thanks, Saint. Carlos says, I think most games are fine. Some just happen to be legendary every once in a while. I really like Xbox exclusives, and I'm glad PlayStation users can enjoy them. The focus is now on the games instead of the box you're playing on. Exactly, Carlos. Thank you, guys. I really do appreciate it. I think that whatever the next piece of hardware from Xbox is, they can make it very powerful. And my prediction was a 2 SKU system I rewatched the August 2024 video. I predicted $699. How much was the PS5 Pro again? It was $699. So now PlayStation has set the new standard for how much our consoles are going to cost. They're not going to go down from that, I don't think. Maybe they do $599. And then they have a 2 SKU system with a handheld. That would be $399 on the hard end. High end. So that's my hot take. That was my read on this. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, either they are working to strike a deal or something is happening behind closed doors with the UI, with the design of their system, and what their next system looks like. This is a good catch by Tom Warren. Any thoughts, chat? Sony will do their own PC launcher. I'm sure they will someday. Has Destin ever beaten a Halo game on Legendary? You can go watch my full capture of Halo Infinite on Legendary difficulty over on youtube.com/IGNguides. I captured the whole game on Legendary difficulty and beat it on Legendary difficulty. I also beat Halo 1 on Legendary. I beat Halo 2 on Legendary. I beat Halo 3 on Legendary. I beat Halo Reach on Legendary. Solo and co-op for all of those. I don't like Halo 4 enough to beat it on Legendary. I think I got halfway through on Legendary, and I didn't beat Halo 5 on Legendary. So yes, I have beat many Halo games on Legendary. The big tip that I would use, especially in 3, I would weapon juggle. I would just weapon juggle all of my guns to the location where I needed it. Was that an achievement back in the day? Because now you're making me wonder, like, which ones did I actually beat on Legendary? Let's go check. Let me just bring up my... I don't have anything embargoed on it for once, so I can actually look at my achievements on the stream. I don't know how to launch it. I don't remember where it is on PC. My library. Can I just look for achievements? I gotta be honest, I don't remember how to do it. View profile, achievements. All right, here we go. Halo Master Chief Collection. I don't think it would have been on that one. Well, here's Halo Infinite. I mean, I think I beat it on Legendary again. So we got review code, and I beat it on Legendary, and then I beat it on Legendary again. And then they added like 600 more achievement points worth of stuff. Yeah. And I did it with the gun, because you could get the gun at the beginning. And I just cheesed it. Anyway, yeah, I played a lot of Halo Infinite. I have like 400 hours in Halo Infinite. Big shout out to the new member, Robotic Neurotic Symbolic. Pitta says, they have been planning this since they went day and date on PC with releases, in my opinion. Consoleizing PC gaming always made sense, and I'm here for it. I agree with you. I think the idea of being able to utilize the strengths that PC has without the cumbersome nature of firmware updates and things not working, if they could figure out how to make that system play nice, I think it's going to be a very compelling piece of software, hardware and OS software. I think that's what people have wanted for years. For years, people have wanted that. Unkai Denkai, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Good morning to you also. Do you think there will be a new Xbox controller released before the next console arrives? That's a good question. I think it will come out around the console. Xbox only doing this now because they spent $75 billion? You might be right. Hey, Destin, can Sony block their games from an Xbox console? I don't think they can if it's a PC. I think the idea of what an Xbox console is going to drastically shift over the next several years, and it's just going to look different. I think whatever they make, it's going to be a lot different than what we've seen in the past. And there was all this news on the weekend. They're like, oh, Indiana Jones is coming soon. They're going to make the big announcement, and Bethesda Games actually teased out a little image if you want to take a look at that. Let me just bring it up here. Did I like it? Let me see if I liked it. Yeah. So Bethesda is sort of teasing something. Keep eyes here tomorrow from Bethesda. And you can see a lot of people think it's DLC. A lot of people think that it's the Indiana Jones remake. People are very, very excited about this announcement. People think it's Indiana Jones. This says Ralph's. But yeah, it's pretty clear that it's like an Indiana Jones set. But there was also like some sort of faux leak. And yeah, this was the first one I saw. Tomorrow, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on PS5 will be announced on March 24th. Here is an exclusive look on its box arts. That's what he wrote, not how I would have written it. Anyway, more details in the original story below. And then he links to deallabs.com. And it's in French. Okay. But anyway, it does seem like it's accurate. People cannot use buying games a bad thing. It good for the industry and developers. Yeah. Buy the video games. I agree. So that was the big story. The big story was that Xbox is opening 1 billion doors with Xbox. This is from their GDC 2025 presentation. Let me correct myself. Opening 1 billion doors with Xbox. As we look toward 2025 and beyond, Xbox remains dedicated to expanding gaming accessibility across devices, simplifying, oh my goodness, I can't talk today, development workflows for creators, and delivering seamless experiences across screens. Opening 1 billion doors with Xbox. You got, I think that's the ROG Ally. You got an Xbox Series S. You got tablet. Or a phone. I don't know what phone is this? Anyway. Got a laptop, got a TV. Here's what Xbox says. This is the official press release where the image originally was released and they pulled it down. Here's what they said. At Xbox, our mission is clear. Bring the joy and community of gaming to everyone on the planet. I guess that would include people who play on a PlayStation 5. We believe that gamers should be able to play the games they want with the people they want, anywhere they want. Central to this vision is empowering game creators to deliver exceptional content across all platforms seamlessly. Our goal is simple, to make every screen in the world an Xbox. Since the original Xbox debuted as the first game console equipped with a built-in hard drive, this kernel of innovation has been at the core of our identity. With Xbox Live, we reshaped multiplayer gaming, established an industry standard for online connectivity, community building, and digital distribution. Furthering our commitment to accessibility and choice, Xbox Game Pass introduced a subscription model that redefined how players discover and engage with games, creating new opportunities for developers to connect with audiences worldwide. Since our earliest explorations in the console space, we're proud to have led the way in ensuring that hardware and services can best meet the changing needs of the gaming audience. The gaming industry continues to evolve, presenting exciting opportunities across numerous fronts. According to a much-cited report by entrepreneur and industry watcher Matthew Ball, PC gaming alone has grown 20% since 2021. We're also witnessing significant traction in emerging play styles such as handheld devices and streaming platforms. Cloud gaming in particular has expanded rapidly, allowing us to reach players across a variety of screens and devices. And this is exactly why Microsoft wanted to diversify their portfolio early on. This is why PlayStation is now figuring out how they choose to diversify their portfolio. And I think it's an exciting time to be a gamer, honestly. Xbox is out there doing something radically different than anybody else. PlayStation is sticking with the tried and true. A great console, great games, and it's doing great for them. Nintendo's doing the same. I think Xbox is figuring out a way to tear down barriers. And I'm excited for it. Carlos says, do you think there's any chance that the next Xbox console might be hardware backwards compatible with all previous Xbox console generations. I do. It will be, and Phil Spencer committed to as much many, many years ago. So yeah. To build a PC with PS5 Pro spec, it lose $2,000. It's close to $2,000. So $699 is worth it for me. Heatwave, it would not cost you $2,000 to build a computer that's PS5 Pro spec. You need a 4070, and I think I have several builds that I made that came very close to $700. So that's just incorrect. Anybody who knows how to build PCs knows that's not accurate. Like, not even close. I will say, though, if graphic cards have become quite scarce, it could be higher than it was when I did my original price point. But, yeah. No, the comparable graphic card is the 4070. Let me see if I still have my my builder. Somebody in chat thinks that PCs cost $2,000 to build, and he's incorrect. So we're going to look it up. And PC part picker. And we're just going to see if I happen to have saved that build that I made. That would be comparable to a PS5 Pro. So here's a high-end. This is a high-end rig. This is a PS5 Pro AMD. You said $2,000, right? $1,287.39. This includes the 4070, 12 gigabyte. Now keep in mind, graphic cards right now are twice what they should be priced. So that 4070 is not normally $889. So when I made this, that card was closer to $500. It is more expensive, but it's not $2,000. You can go in and you can change the components, Filaroni. The point being, it's not $2,000. Today, if you can get, yeah, okay, here's a 4060. It's got to be a 4070 though. Oh, here, AliExpress has a 4070 for $266. 4070s are, it looks like they're really high. Here's one at Walmart for $629. Why is that one $800? So like, all right, let's go in. Let's look at this. We can do this together if you want. This compatibility warning is due to like an OS update that the motherboard might have. Let's see here. I wonder if you can still get a 4070 for a reasonable price. All right, let's look for one that's, yeah. So they're just like super overpriced right now at $849. They were not $849 when I made this list. They were like $500. So there, $40 off there. I would probably change a lot about this build now, but still, it's not $2,000. And this is a very powerful machine. Change the 4070 to a 7800 XT. I think the problem is GPUs right now, because of the tariffs and everything. I think pricing of everything's just gone nuts with GPUs. Which one did you say? 7800 XT? Let's see here. So I never pick like just, well, actually that's got 8 5-star reviews. Well, we could do 590 or 672, but even these are marked up right now. Yeah, and then you're down to 987. So anyway, I just wanted to show it's not $2,000. Do you have a SSD M2? Yes. I think so. Yeah, we have the 2 terabyte M2 2280 PCIe 4. It's $100, about $100. Anyway, long story short, I will say this, like the argument being made is that really what the argument being made is that the PS5 Pro is a good value. It is a good value for the components in it. It's a good console. And a lot of people have been happy with their device. So yeah. Windows costs like $5 odd head. You can just go get a Windows code for like nothing. You don't have to pay $100 for Windows. That rig cannot do 4K 120 with frame generation or DLSS. Neither can the PS5 Pro. What in the world do you think the PS5 Pro can do? You think the PS5 Pro can do 4K 120? Are you okay? That's not real. It's not real 4K, buddy. And I'm even giving in and admitting, hey, PS5 Pro, it's a great device. It is a good value for what you're paying for. You're still getting throttled by the CPU, which is unfortunate. The only illustration I'm trying to make here is, it's like, are you going to invest $700 into a device that will age out in 3 to 4 years? Or are you going to invest a little bit more money into a PC that you could upgrade at a much lower fee? Neither choice is wrong, mind you. I don't think either choice is wrong. If you want to go console, totally makes sense. That's just for you. If you want to go PC, totally makes sense. So like, I'm not dogging on the PS5 Pro. Yeah, and you do have to invest in the TV. There were all these arguments online about like, there were a lot of us talking about like, hey, this is like, I think you should at least consider making the jump to PC before you jump in on the PS5 Pro, because it's at that price point where, yeah, you could get a pretty good PC for about that price point. If Xbox essentially turns into a PC, I'd expect and hope for a new Xbox release every 3 to 4 years. What's your take on that? I mean, it would be great if it was more modular, where you could take out components and put in new components. I'd be down for, like, I'm down for that, but like, I'm not the use case for a console player, right? I think I'm a little bit more tech savvy than most. I like playing on a PC. I don't mind taking parts out of my PC and putting in new parts, but most people, they just want a box that they put on their table and it works, right? And they'll play on old hardware until it dies. So yeah, the point of the console is no headaches, just plug and play. So whatever that means to you. Yeah, John, exactly. And a lot of people like that. The PS5 Pro, a great device. Not long ago, you said that it is garbage and that everyone should just build a PC for the same money. Go find the clip, Crash. Go find the clip where I said it's garbage. Here, actually, no, you know what? I have it saved. I'll find it for you. All right, here's the clip where I said the PS5 Pro is garbage. There it is, in case anybody was curious. I actually have it bookmarked. So if you ever need to reference it again, let me know, and I'll bring it up for you. I never have claimed that the PS5 Pro is garbage. I never said not to buy one. I said that it's at that price point where you might want to consider a PC, because before graphics cards went insane and you can't buy them anymore, I literally like can't buy a graphics card at a reasonable price. So I just won't buy anything, right? Before all that happened, you could build a good PC for about $1,000. And if you were investing in a PS5 Pro and you wanted the disk drive and you wanted the stand, you were looking at about $950. I know, because I bought those components and I bought the thing all up. That's about how much it was. I have an unboxing video on the channel, and I made a video a few weeks ago about how PlayStation is crushing it. However, I mean, since you bring it up, let's not forget that the PS5 Pro sales are slowing down right now. PS5 Pro sales reportedly start lagging behind PS5 Pro. I do think that will change when the little game known as Grand Theft Auto releases. So keep an eye out for that. Going to buy one in 2 weeks. I think that the PS5 Pro is going to go like hotcakes if the graphic cards situation don't get under control and GTA 6 comes out. I think those are going to be two very compelling times to consider the PlayStation 5 Pro. I bought one. I didn't touch it. I have like this massive library of games and I just wasn't using my consoles. So, yeah. You can go see the build online. It's basically the same build, Justin. Can we expect that Xbox handheld will be more powerful than ROG Ally? Yeah, probably. Yeah, a lot of people considering ROG Ally. Yeah, you could also just get something like that. Like if you're a big PlayStation loyalist, but you want the PC experience, you could get an ROG Ally. That's a really good device. From everything I've heard, people really like the ROG Allies. And you can dock it and then play it on your TV, and there you go. You got your PC gaming solution. Let's continue this press release. Younger generations, and this is very important, including Gen Z and Gen Alpha, increasingly engage with games across multiple devices. Over half of these younger players regularly switch between platforms, expecting seamless gaming experiences similar to their interactions with services like Netflix and YouTube. Our data shows this multi-device player demographic now constitutes 1/3 of all gamers, but accounts for 2/3 of spending, highlighting their importance for future growth. Let's read that back again. Our data shows this multi-device player demographic constitutes 1/3 of all gamers. 1 out of 3 gamers are one of these people, but they spend 2/3 of the money. Out of all the money spent on gaming, this group accounts for 2/3 of it, highlighting their importance for future growth. So all the money going into the gaming ecosystem, it's coming from these Gen Zers. And you know what they want? They don't care what device they play on. They just want to know that their experience is still intact when they go there. Does that sound at all leading from Xbox? Like maybe they said, well, what could we do to ensure that this Gen Z and Gen Alpha demographic is able to access as many of their games as they possibly can on the next generation of Xbox? Because that's the experience you get on PC. You eventually get all the PlayStation games. What do we not have from PlayStation on PC at this day? We got Last of Us 2. We got Ghost of Tsushima. We got Helldivers 2. We had Concord when it was out. Yeah, what do we not have? Got Days Gone. Got Death Stranding. Got Last of Us Part 1 and 2. Got both the Horizon games. Got Spider-Man. Got Spider-Man Miles Morales. Got Marvel Spider-Man 2. God of War. God of War Ragnarok. What do we not have? Anyone? I'm serious. What are we waiting on? MGS4. Well, nobody has MGS4. That's locked on the PS3. Everyone laughed at me when I said Xbox was going to get Death Stranding. I misspoke because, like, to me, PC Xbox is still Xbox. But I get to most people, they still think about a console. Astrobot, thank you. GT7 and Astrobot, they're still waiting to make the jump. I think GT7 will not make the cut. I think that stays on console. Anyway, the fact that Gen Z and Gen Alpha account for 2/3 of spending is crazy. Here's what Xbox is doing about it. How Xbox is opening doors to 1 billion players. This past year has been a particularly productive one for us at Xbox. We've updated our hardware offerings, significantly improved the Xbox PC app, and forged new partnerships with industry leaders such as Samsung, LG, and Fire TV, extending Xbox's presence to even more screens worldwide. To solidify our commitment to cross-platform integration, we launched the Stream Your Own Game service, which allows Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers to purchase and stream games outside the existing Game Pass catalog across PCs, mobile devices, and smart TVs. The initiative has seen impressive adoption, particularly in Latin American markets like Brazil, Argentina, and Mexico, representing significant opportunities for developers to expand their audiences. One partner notably gained 1 million new players for an established game franchise through this service. 1 million new players for an established game franchise through an Xbox-centric service alone. Dwayne asks, is there any way PlayStation can block their Steam games off of Xbox through Steam? No. Steam is unabashedly pro-consumer. And if the device is a PC device, the answer is no. So, when the Asus comes out that is Xbox branded, you will be able to play your PlayStation games on the Asus Xbox collaborative device. There is a chance, depending on how it is crafted, that you will be able to do that with the next generation Xbox, but that is many years out. We've also expanded the Xbox Play Anywhere initiative, which allows players to purchase a game once and play it across PC, Xbox consoles, and supported handhelds, with cross-save and cross-progression. With over 1,000 games currently supported, this functionality not only improves the gaming experience, but significantly boosts user engagement and retention. In fact, we recently shared that XBA titles see 20% more playtime than non-Xbox Play Anywhere games. So when it's Xbox Play Anywhere, people are playing more. Thanks to our continued commitment with products and features like these, cloud gaming represents one of Xbox's fastest growing sectors, achieving strong year-over-year growth. Currently, Xbox Cloud Gaming reaches over 100 million devices, including TVs, streaming sticks, and VR headsets. Our strategic partnerships with Samsung, Meta, LG, and Fire TV, with more on the way, continue to expand our addressable market, which we expect to double within the next year. Publishers leveraging our cloud services have benefited from increased session lengths and overwhelmingly positive player feedback. As we look toward 2025 and beyond, Xbox remains dedicated to expanding gaming accessibility across devices, simplifying development workflows for creators, and delivering seamless experiences across all screens. Our goal remains consistent to ensure gamers can engage with the content they love exactly how and where they choose. We're aiming for 1 billion open doors, leading to a truly global audience. Let's make it happen together. The Xbox Series S was, in part, a way that they were able to offer a second SKU at a lower price point. It is a really strong contender for that second console a PlayStation gamer might have on their desk or in their entertainment system. The second console for a family who wants to let their kids play Minecraft while they play Gears of War. It is a good second console for that Nintendo player or Nintendo dad, like myself, who wants to chainsaw stuff every once in a while. It was also a way that they would tell developers, you need to optimize for this device. Why? Because in the future, we're going to launch a handheld, and any game that works on that is going to work on anything we make in the future. I've heard it called a potato. I've heard people complain and bemoan about the Xbox Series S and how it's holding back a generation. However, those same people have no complaints about optimizing for the Steam Deck. They have no complaints about arguing for the ROG Ally or making sure that things function on whatever personal device you happen to have in your hands. So Xbox was smart in making that call. It has cost them a lot. No Black Myth Wukong. That developer said basically, we don't know enough about optimizing for this device. We're not going to dedicate the resources towards figuring it out. And it's just one of the examples that come to me off the top of my head. but they have lost some big games to that. And that's really unfortunate, and that sucks for the Xbox gamer. But 99.9% of games work on the Series S, and 99.9% of games have come to the Series S. Some optimize better than others. And I think the long play on that is the Xbox handheld. Whatever that handheld is, we'll be able to play every Xbox game. And as technology pushes further and further, it will look better and better. Because you don't have to render at 1080. You probably don't even have to render at 720. But it'll work. And I think that was what the plan was the whole time. Phil Spencer seemed to indicate as much when we interviewed each other, or when we spoke to each other during the interview. The X-Boy, that is right, Indra X. So that's my super hot take on the whole thing. I love my ROG Ally, Ventura says. I'm probably going to get the Ally X and give the OG to my 8-year-old so she can play all of her Switch games better than the Switch can play them. We'll keep that between us. We'll keep that our little secret that that's what you're going to do. But that's exactly it. Wukong can't come to the Series S, but GTA 6 can. Bribery. Say what you will about... No, I don't do that, Dean. Say what you will about GTA and Rockstar and optimizing for those games. Or say what you will about Xbox console sales. It's still like 35 million potential customers probably at this point. Do you think the next Xbox will have a disk drive? Nope. I don't think any next-gen console will have a disk drive. And seeing there's only 2 of them, really that just means PlayStation and Xbox? No. Every Xbox game prototype 1 and 2 disc won't work in my Series X. Yeah, it doesn't. You have to buy whatever version they have on the store. I was very upset about it. I made a whole video about it. I'm like, you own these. Crash Bandicoot is on Game Pass, Nightshade, over on Twitch. Retail is done with this. I think most players are done with discs. Most retailers are over discs. Most people are done with discs. It's just not the way the market's going. I read a statistic that said something like the high 80% people play digitally. They don't do that anymore. And saying file save as new game code is a lot easier than doing all the printing and manufacturing. IMCL says, I haven't bought a disc since 2013, and most people haven't. Clay, it's really great to see you. Also, hello, Destin. Jumping in to say hello before I got to bed. Thank you for stopping by. Miss you, Clay. That was nice to see Clay. You too, Phil. That was good to see Phil. I'm in North Dakota, so we don't get discs like you city folk. Because discs don't even have the damn stuff on the disc half the time. Yeah, Forza Horizon 5 just install the game when you put it in. Yeah, rip ownership for the feature. I'm not like happy about that. But I'm guilty. I stopped buying discs after the PS4, I think. Around the PS4, I just stopped buying discs. No reason to. How do you know Jesse Gomez, Clay? Do you mod for him or do you know him? Gomez is great. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the console. That was the Xbox press release. I think it's very clear. Xbox is going to really shake things up with whatever they're doing next. Probably going to be a little bit of a shell shock for anybody that's followed Xbox. I'm sure PlayStation fans will say, oh, they've gone full third party or whatever. And I'm sure Xbox fans might have to adjust their perception of what Xbox is if they choose to stay part of it. But it's going to be different. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a good thing. I love the idea of a console that works like a console that has all the benefits of the PC, allowing your libraries to be sorted and organized the way that you like. I'm really into that. honestly. See, I wasn't going to stream very long today, but we have 419 people in chat. And that was basically the one big story that I was going to go over for the day. So now I don't know what to talk about. We talk about how Xbox might end up buying Ubisoft. How about that? Let's go. Ubisoft secret talk, shareholder plans, Paris protest. AG Investment CEO Jura Krupa said in a statement that Ubisoft is horribly mismanaged by current management. This was all before Assassin's Creed came out. Widget said, oh my God, I hit the wrong button. Is there any doubt that Xbox is getting out of the hardware market? I don't think they're getting out of it completely. Did you talk about the Obsidian tease? What was the Obsidian tease? I missed that one. Casual Destin with no shave and members only jacket. Yeah, usually I shave on Sundays before I stream. Do you think Sony will stop Valve from letting PlayStation games work on Xbox? They can't. They wouldn't be able to do that because it's not going to be an Xbox the way you think of it. Robotic Neurotic Symbolic just gifted 5 epic tier subs. Thank you, Robotic. I really do appreciate it. What I want to find the AJ Investments. Wait. I think Ubisoft shareholder claims company failed to disclose meetings with EA and Microsoft about IP acquisition. Oh my goodness. Is Xbox going to buy Ubisoft? I got to be honest. I think it would be really, really good if Xbox could buy some of the IPs. Let's read what this article says. A Ubisoft shareholder is planning a protest outside the company's Paris office after it claims the studio failed to disclose meetings regarding a potential acquisition. First reported by IGN, AJ Investments, a firm with less than a 1% stake in Ubisoft. That's important. They have a very low stake. But they have been leaking the juiciest stuff. This is like FTC behind the door peeking stuff that this 1% stake company has leaked to us. It's been great. Says that studio is horribly mismanaged by current management. In addition, the firm's CEO, Juraj Krupa, says that the company failed to disclose reported meetings with EA and Microsoft, among other interested parties, regarding potential acquisition of Ubisoft IPs. I'm going to say it right now. Give Splinter Cell to Microsoft. We need stealth games. Assassin's Creed Shadows, really, say what you will about Assassin's Creed Shadows. The one thing I gave it flowers for was I did enjoy the stealth. Sure, the AI is brain dead at times, but I really, really enjoyed the stealth aspect. You know why? Because it's the closest I'm ever going to get to a new Splinter Cell game at this rate. Ubisoft has been sitting on that IP, doing nothing with it. And for me personally, I have always thought of Splinter Cell as an Xbox IP anyway. So it's about fostering that. What are the PlayStation fans always say? It's about that fostering of a relationship and like really, really bonding with somebody before you let them give you a couple $1 billion for your IP or company. And Xbox has done that. Krupa added that AJ Investments is ready to sue Ubisoft for misleading investors. He did add, however, that they are aware of Ubisoft management having a financial review of various strategic options that is being advised by Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. In a statement given to IGN, Ubisoft restated its past messaging that reviews of strategic and capitalistic options is ongoing at the company. So this is happening. The board has established an ad hoc independent committee to oversee this formal and competitive process so as to extract the best value from Ubisoft's assets and franchises for all stakeholders, the company said. Ubisoft will inform the market in accordance with applicable regulations if and once a transaction materializes. Now, I think that Assassin's Creed Shadows is much better than we thought it was going to be. I like a lot about it, and you can go check out no paywall, no nothing. I did a written review for Assassin's Creed Shadows, a review in progress. It's up over on patreon.com/SafeStatePlus. You can go read it right now. I think it's better than I thought it would be, but I have a lot of criticisms of it. There's a little bit of that Ubisoft magic. But no matter how well that game does, it's not going to be enough to make up the amount of money Ubisoft needs to make up. That's the thing. And Yasuke in the game, his story is not half bad. It's somewhat interesting. I've seen all the stuff online. Like everybody's really upset about the romance options. It's just like, just don't pick those romance options. I don't know. I think I'm super over the controversies around Assassin's Creed Shadows. I feel like it's been like beating a dead horse at this point. I was guilty of a lot of it too. I read Thomas Lockley's book on the stream, and I thought it was sort of interesting to talk about it. But now that I've played it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's Assassin's Creed. It's exactly what we thought. It is a 7 out of 10 through and through, in my opinion. I think it's got some good stuff going for it, but I think scope creep has gotten to the point where the Assassin's Creed franchise is going to collapse in upon itself because they're trying to do too many things all at once. But yeah, like the controversies, it's the same playbook every time, and I'm so tired of it and over it, honestly. I thought it was the only thing about Yasuke that I found surprising from Ubisoft was that he was an actual historical figure that they chose to make a main character and not like an alien from outer space that's trying to control humans, you know? So that was a little bit of a turn. And then when you actually play the game, though, I do think that a lot of people love Yasuke. I prefer Nawe. And it's basically like, do you like going into fights with a big thing and bonking people? You're going to pick Yasuke. Do you like doing more stealth? You're going to pick Nawe. And that's kind of what it came out to be. So like all that drama, all the videos, all the posts about Assassin's Creed Shadows, what did it amount to be? The game's fine. It's just fine. I don't think it's like disgustingly bad or anything like that. Some people love it. Some people really, really like it. But yeah. I think I thought about making an opinion piece about it, but I really think the criticism just like at some point I'm like, oh, they're mad about another thing, you know? And I don't think that helps when you have valid criticisms about how games are handled. When one of the ones that I thought were particularly ridiculous was when they were talking about the day it releases and how that's some holiday, some like problematic date for some reason, but Animal Crossing also released on that day. So yeah, I'm just like, okay. And now that it's out and I've played 17 hours of it, I think it's a 7 out of 10. Yeah. After Odyssey, I don't care about AC anymore. Too much bloat. Yeah. My problem is it's too bloated. Do I really need a housing system where I can put a bunch of monkeys in there? Is that a cool thing? Sure. But maybe you should have spent a little bit more time on the combat system, or maybe you should have spent a little bit more time on the stealth system instead of making 5 systems that 0.5% of the player base are going to utilize, or make a bunch of systems where none of them are truly stellar. They're all sort of just, okay. My biggest gripe with the game is honestly the scout system, where they'll be like, all right, he's in the castle. He's on the west side of the town. You need to send somebody to investigate. And what does your investigation entail? You go into your menu, you read the clues, you hit scout, and they tell you where they are. I turned that shit off so fast. I did it 2 times, 3 times. I turned it off. It was a complaint I had in the preview. And then I saw it again in the full game. I'm just like, nope. It's a waste of time. What is enjoyable about that gameplay mechanic? Reading text and then going into your menu and pressing a button? Just tell me where to go. I just want to know where to go to kill the guy. It is filler. It is a way to pad out your game time and make it seem like it's longer than it is. And it does nothing interesting. Maybe later, but yeah. Maybe later, but I didn't think it was particularly good. But at the end of the day, I also don't hate the game. I think the worlds are really, really pretty. I do like the stealth. I think Nawe is going to be a compelling assassin. Yeah, I don't like the fact that they charge you to reveal the map. $9.99 to unlock the map. Yeah, they've been doing microtransactions and stuff like that for years. And here's the thing, all of these companies make these games that cost $300 million, so they justify the idea that they need to put the microtransactions in the game. So the whole game is designed in a way where they create systems so that they can sell you stuff. Jonathan Rogers and I had a great interview over on IGN. You can go check it out. It's still posted over there, where he talked about you gotta be careful that you don't wind up making something in a way that's bad to sell people stuff. And a lot of designers and developers kind of get caught in that monetization trap. So, yeah. Anyway, so this is happening. Turns out Microsoft is interested in buying some Ubisoft IPs. What should Microsoft buy? I think Splinter Cell makes sense. I think Ghost Recon Advanced Warrior makes sense. Division. Division is a pretty Xbox-centric game also. Even Assassin's Creed. I mean, just give anybody else Assassin's Creed. Clay says nope. Tom Clancy stuff, yeah. I would highly suggest those blindly listening to Destiny here to try the game for yourselves. It's a great game. I didn't say it was bad. I said it's a perfectly competent Assassin's Creed game. Infinite Umbra seems to think that I hate Assassin's Creed. Not at all. I have issues with it, and there's a lot of problems with Assassin's Creed Shadows, and if you don't call that out, they're not going to correct the issues. AC Games always did this. It's crazy people are finding this out just now. Yeah, they've been doing it since the one in Paris. Infinite Umbra says, yeah, but the way you're speaking of it sounds completely negative. No, I think the world's gorgeous. I think I just listed the positives 10 seconds ago. Thinking a 7 out of 10 is bad is brain rot. Turn off the TikTok. Yeah, I don't think it's an 8 out of 10. I think it's a 7 out of 10. I think there's a lot of mechanics that are unnecessary and it's a little bloaty, but I did not like Star Wars. Star Wars Outlaws, I couldn't get past like the first few hours. So yeah. Go play Splinter Cell and come back. It's not good. Real Joker's kind of based. Okay, Real Joker. Now go play Splinter Cell Blacklist and tell me it's bad. That was the last one, right? Splinter Cell Blacklist. Yeah, go play Blacklist and tell me that there's nothing there. Blacklist is a cool video game. I think if you go back and play the old Splinter Cells, then yeah. My scale, Infinite Umbra, my whole joke scale, and I don't know if I'm going to keep that. It's been sort of fun, but like once I got to Assassin's Creed, I'm like, well, where would I actually score? Well, it would actually be a 7. I don't think it's a 6. I don't think it's an 8. To me, it is actually a 7. So when I have a genuine score, then yeah. Kind of gets problematic. I don't know what my scoring system is going to be. I always liked buy it, rent it, F it, which is what we did at Screw Attack like 20 years ago. So I like maybe a modern version of whatever that would be. I've always thought that was I like that a lot, like a 3-point scale. Like, is it worth buying? Yes or no? Yeah, you should get this one. Like, this is a not miss game. Should you rent it or wait for a sale? I've seen people do. And then should you pass on it? I think Assassin's Creed Shadows is one of those games where it's like a wait for a sale, or maybe it's a buy. Man, even there, like, I don't know. Like, did you like Odyssey and did you like Origins? If you like those, it's a buy. If you are more of like the old school Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, it's a rent because you might not like the RPG mechanics. It's a really tough game to land on a score personally. Anyway, that's kind of all I had. I was working on a video to talk about the PlayStation 5 Pro. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but long story short, I think the PS5 Pro launched to hit the Christmas target. And I think because of that, I think it launched too early. We saw the issues with Star Wars, so then Star Wars had to patch and get corrected. And there were some other games that have had issues. And a lot of people are saying, I kind of regret buying my PS5 Pro. I think they launched it a little bit too early so that they could bolster their console numbers. And then you have Mark Cerny saying they're talking about FSR4 and how they're going to implement similar technology to FSR4 with the next version of PSSR, which is going to release in 2026. So that's compelling. But for right now, I'm just kind of like, I have not finished Avowed yet. I think so. After I went independent, one of the things that I realized was I do not have nearly as much time as I thought. Kids are getting older. They want to spend time with their dad. And I'm doing a lot more of dadding, doing a lot more dad time, right? Making sure I'm with the family, spending time with the family, going to the strawberry thing with the kids. And it's made coverage harder. So I put a poll out on Patreon and I just said, what do you want me to focus on? And then I also thought about what I should focus on the YouTube. So I want to do streams like this one. This is a great stream. 400 concurrents, perfect stuff. You guys are super active. For the most part, you're being respectful, you know. Some people are joshing me a little bit or whatever you call it. Totally fine with me. I like that. But the main thing people want, they want the interviews. So I have interviews booked. I don't think I've missed an interview since I put that poll out. And people said they like news. They really, really like news, right? So that's great. Speaking of interviews, Sean Layden comes out on YouTube on Monday. And then for patrons, for people over on Patreon, the Paul Tassi interview launches on Monday on Patreon, and that'll come out a week following. And then I have something I can't talk about after that. Nothing too crazy. Don't think too crazy. But yeah, Sean Layden, former PlayStation guy, that comes out to everybody on Monday. It was a really good episode. I really, really liked that one. And then Paul Tassi, and then another one I can't talk about. And there was another individual who I'm trying to get coordinated on. I would really, really like to get him on because it ties in really, really well with a EA game that's being released soonish. And the person was involved with the EA game, so it'd be great to get him. I should probably follow it back up. And there's a few others tied to big releases. Something got modded. El Meccano says, okay, I've been modding Skyrim and Doom 1993 and having the time of my gaming life till these AAA companies get their stuff together. I'm just going to continue to do so. I hear that more and more people are playing old games. I had a question for you. So I'm going to do a quick poll in chat, and I think I'm going to end quite soon. There's not a ton more news to go over, just to give you a heads up. And, you know, it's dinner time here in California. I might come on later. I might come stream some Assassin's Creed later because I want to play more. I got a lot of flack from my South of Midnight preview. Do you think I should re-preview and like do a written script edited thing of South of Midnight? I think one of the biggest criticisms that I've gotten was about my South of Midnight preview. I felt like I could have made my points better. And I thought people would like it. They did not like that style. Or The alternative to doing that would be, get caught up with, get an Assassin's Creed review out, get Avowed out, just wait and play South of Midnight when it comes out, Widya says. Yeah. And I'm curious what you think here on the chat, because honestly, a lot of people said some pretty not nice things about it. I lost patrons. They were like, he did not apologize for not respecting culture or something like that. And I'm just like, I have a lot of respect for the culture that they're trying to implement in the game. And I just wish they had done so in a way where it was an easier onboarding to the culture. Because it's like, for somebody like this guy, it's a bit of a culture shock. And I don't understand what they're referencing at times. And I think a lot of people might feel that way because they're not going to have the context that a lot of people who lived in Louisiana have, for example. So, yeah. What John says, what don't understand why is Xbox wanting use Steam or have company like Asus, make them gaming device when they already had Logitech made them. Bro, I can't even read what you're saying. Let me try and translate here. Give me a second, chat. I don't know. I think he's saying, why didn't they just have Logitech make the handle? I don't know. Do not listen to these people, Destin. Some people just want to be miserable. You are clearly respectful, but yeah, that game looks boring. Long story short, my big issues with South of Midnight, the combat's not great. And the whole game is built around platforming, and it's built around combat. And the combat is bad. It's basic. It's not good. So maybe like the movie experience will be good, but when you have games like Astrobot that nail platforming and combat, and you have the rigidity of South of Midnight, it just doesn't work in my opinion. Anyway, it's kind of split on the poll. I'll think about it. Obscure Fare, we'll see. I'll think about it. I might just do a full review. I think that game's going to be short. I think that's going to be like a 4-hour game. Yeah, and if we go look. Okay, it actually has 19,000 views. The likes and dislikes aren't even that bad. But let's read some of the criticisms here. And this is totally fine. I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus or anything like that. Am I crazy to say that a reviewer getting an early access portion of a game should be reviewing the portion they got with the context that they didn't see the beginning or the end, instead of saying this game is bad because they didn't explain the entire story to me in the small section I got, therefore the story can't possibly make sense? I understand that he didn't like gameplay elements, and that's obviously valid, but 80% of this video is just shitting on him not knowing the lore and thinking that they couldn't possibly explain any of it in chapters 1 and 2. The bottle tree example I use is introduced in chapter 3, and they explain it in chapter 3. And I did research after the video, so I know more about bottle trees and everything like that. But I don't think it's introduced in a way where it actually explains what they represent. Just like the quilts on the wall, it's the same thing. They're just kind of there. And, I think about Ragnarok. There's not really an expectation that things, or Thor's hammer is so well known. I don't know if that's a good example, but they don't point stuff out in a way where you're supposed to understand the lore of things. I don't know. So I really thought about that a lot. But on the story criticisms, the main story element that I'm criticizing are the Benji and Rhubarb story, which really stuck with me. I still remember that story quite clearly. That is not a story that exists anywhere. So that is not a reference to lore. And it's about, chat doesn't want me to ruin it for them, but it's messed up what happens. It's I won't ruin it for you, but it's not a positive story. And yeah, so I don't like the story. It did resonate with me, but it resonated with me because I don't understand its purpose. I don't understand how the gameplay elements work. Anyway, maybe I should redo it because every time I start thinking about it, and I replayed it. I read all the lore. I did every little thing that I possibly could. It's like an hour and a half of total game time for that stuff. Anyway, some people really liked it. So some people in chat did like that style. Okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to make this is just sort of me in my head here at the end. I was like, oh, I'll ask chat what they thought about that Celta Midnight thing. Let's read a few more comments and then see here. I don't think all comments need to be positive or anything, but yeah. Destin, love your stuff, dude, but dragging a game's story and whether or not it brought up. Okay, they don't like that I didn't drag the story. Here we go. Oh, this is good. I have no idea about anything specific about a Benji and Rhubarb, but legends of people turning into trees or souls being trapped in trees, having deep regrets and being vengeful. There is also a tree that is known to attract catfish because of the caterpillar/moss that flock to it. This could just be an original story tying into local myths. Okay, I actually really like that context. That's great. Median game fans. Developers are on original, safe, and don't do anything new. Same people. Wow, this game isn't what I'm used to. I don't understand it. It sucks. Same people a few minutes later. I want something new, like Bloodborne Remaster or another God of War. I think that's a gross oversimplification of criticisms for the game. So developers are on original and safe. Don't do anything new. That is a criticism. And people do want them to do something new. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know what worked? I know I took a sponsorship from them, but Mecha Break is cool. And they did new stuff with that game. And it's cool and fun. That worked. Wow, this game isn't what I'm used to. I don't understand it. It sucks. No, it's the combat's bad. The gameplay's bad and the platforming's bad, in my opinion. So, yeah. This guy says, the Southern setting broke Destin's Canadian sensibilities. Okay, that's kind of funny. Oh, all right. So like this guy was positive. One more. Honestly, Destin, it's videos like this that make me keep coming back to watch your content. You're an unashamed Xbox fanboy, but you're not a shill. I appreciate you giving an honest and upfront review of your demo run here. I think Celta Midnight looks interesting from an artistic and narrative point of view, and I probably will grab it at some point on a Steam sale for those reasons. Yeah, you know, my biggest concern about the preview was that I would come off like I was insensitive to the culture difference that is obviously there because I'm a guy born in Canada. And obviously, this is a big culture that I've never been exposed to in my life. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this preview, and I'm going to be honest about my criticisms here. And I feel a little nervous about doing that because I don't know how that's going to be received by the audience. So it's really nice to see that somebody's just like, look, I don't think you're being a shill. I think your pointed criticisms were clear. And honestly, I'm all for games exposing me to different cultures and different backgrounds and things like that. My hope is that they do so in a way where a guy like Destin can get on board with what's going on and learn something. And my big criticism is I don't know that this game will succeed in that. So that's it. That's all I'm really trying to get at. I love Compulsion. I watch the documentary. I think what they're trying to do is great. But the question is, when you're doing a preview, have they succeeded in their targeted goals? And my concern is that they didn't. Let's wait for the full game and then review it. I think you're right, Mr. Lion. I think you are right. I think that's what I'm going to do. Comes out April 8th. I don't think I'm going to get a code, but we'll see. I will give it a fair critique, and I will review it appropriately. It might also be tough to preview this kind of game. They threw us into chapter 3. I read all the lore in the game, so like there's some interesting stuff going on, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go make dinner for the family. I appreciate all of you hanging out, talking about the Xbox news. Let's do the outro so I can cut it later. Hey, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting the bell. I do greatly appreciate you for watching. A huge thank you to all of the members. I forgot that I made the scrolling membership thing. Thank you so much to everybody who has supported. I got the longtime members in there, or anybody who supports. The list is long, so it does eventually loop, but I made it. I got as many in there. There's like hundreds of names in there. So thank you to anybody who's ever supported. A big special thanks to Christopher Eddy, Inner Machine, Philaroni, Spin Getter, and Aries. I really do appreciate it. And of course, the Mythic tier. Forgot I put that in there. If you do want to support, though, content like this one, you can go to patreon.com/SaveStatePlus and support at whatever level you choose. What do you get? You get early access to all the interviews. You get written previews. The way I'm using it is basically like my blog. So like if I write something, it's going to go there free for everybody. Just read it. And if you choose to, you can support it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to get out of here. Check out my video where I talk about how Xbox should do more with what they have over at Activision, because it is a lot. And I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody. And I might stream tonight Assassin's Creed. So I might see y'all later. I just do that outro so that I can clip out the Xbox part from the beginning, and maybe that'll be like a Monday, Tuesday video. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching.